The truth. Why narcissists struggle with real love. Did you know that research suggests only about 15% of individuals diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder are capable of experiencing what many would call real love? Can someone so deeply self-absorbed truly understand the intricacies of genuine affection? These provocative questions set the stage for a deep exploration into the paradox of narcissism and love, a journey that will unravel why those who seem to thrive on admiration and self-importance often find themselves woefully ill-equipped to form lasting, meaningful connections. Narcissism, by its very nature, is a personality construct marked by an inflated sense of self-importance, an insatiable craving for admiration, and a profound lack of empathy. In the realm of relationships, these traits often translate into behavior that appears selfish, manipulative, and emotionally shallow. The implications of such a personality in intimate and interpersonal relationships are significant. While narcissists may exude charm and charisma on the surface, the deeper emotional layers required for genuine love frequently remain out of reach. In this discussion, we delve into the complex interplay between narcissism and love, seeking to understand whether these individuals, who are so adept at projecting confidence, can ever truly experience the depth of connection that characterizes real love. For many, the common perception is that narcissists are incapable of forming genuine emotional bonds. This view stems from their inability to empathize with others, which is seen as a cornerstone of loving relationships. The narcissist's world is one in which every interaction is a transaction, a means to receive validation and reinforce their self-image. As a result, their relationships often become arenas for power plays and control, leaving little room for the mutual vulnerability and reciprocity that define authentic love. This challenge is compounded by the fact that narcissistic abuse leaves a trail of broken relationships, shattered self-esteem, and profound loneliness in its wake. The consequences are severe, not only for the victims who endure the fallout of manipulation and neglect, but also for the narcissists themselves, who remain trapped in a cycle of superficial connections that ultimately fail to satisfy their deeper emotional needs. To truly understand why narcissists struggle with real love, it is essential to explore the psychological underpinnings of their behavior. One of the fundamental traits of narcissism is an overwhelming need for dominance and control. Narcissists view relationships as platforms for self-promotion and as means to affirm their superiority. In these interactions, the concept of love is often distorted into what might be called selfish love, a version of affection that is conditional on the narcissist receiving the constant admiration and attention they crave. This type of love is transactional rather than transformative. It is less about caring for another human being and more about using that person as a mirror to reflect the narcissist's own perceived greatness. The true emotional investment, which involves empathy, mutual respect, and the willingness to share vulnerabilities, is something that many narcissists find alien and even threatening. Psychologically speaking, genuine love requires a deep capacity for empathy, a willingness to step outside of one's own experience and to connect with the feelings of another. For a narcissist, this is a monumental challenge. Their world is dominated by their own needs and desires, and any attempt to shift the focus away from themselves is met with resistance. As a result, when a narcissist finds themselves in a situation that calls for real, unconditional love, they often feel overwhelmed and confused. They may exhibit behaviors that mimic love, grand gestures, intense passion, even declarations of adoration. But these are typically surface-level expressions designed to maintain control rather than to foster true intimacy. Yet, despite these barriers, There are key insights and expert observations that suggest the story is not entirely one of hopelessness. Emerging research and clinical observations have revealed that while narcissists generally struggle with the deep, selfless dimensions of love, they are not completely devoid of the capacity for affection. In some instances, particularly when a narcissist experiences a significant emotional crisis, or when they are confronted with undeniable evidence of their own shortcomings, there can be moments of genuine connection. These instances, though rare and often fleeting, provide a glimpse into the potential for change. It is in these key moments that the narcissist's facade cracks, revealing a person who, beneath layers of defense and self-aggrandizement, is capable of feeling something resembling real love, even if it is muddled by their own insecurities. One of the most compelling insights from psychological research is that the narcissist's struggle with real love is closely tied to their internal conflicts. On one hand, they desperately need admiration and validation to sustain their fragile self-esteem. On the other, they are profoundly afraid of vulnerability. Genuine love demands vulnerability, an openness that involves risking rejection and exposing one's true self. For a narcissist, the prospect of being truly known by another is terrifying because it might lead to feelings of inadequacy or shame. Consequently, even if they experience moments of genuine affection, these are often quickly suppressed or distorted to fit their self-protective narrative. They might project their insecurities onto their partner, criticize them excessively, or withdraw emotionally at the first sign of true intimacy. This internal battle creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. The narcissist's inability to engage in real love reinforces their belief that they are unworthy of it, perpetuating a cycle of isolation and superficial relationships. In exploring these dynamics, we begin to see the stark contrast between selfish love and true love. Selfish love, as exhibited by many narcissists, is transactional and conditional. It is love that comes with strings attached, a desire to be adored and to be seen as superior, rather than to foster mutual growth and understanding. True love, on the other hand, is characterized by empathy, selflessness, and a willingness to support another's growth, even when it does not directly benefit oneself. It is a love that values the other person for who they are, independent of any external validation. The gap between these two forms of love is where the narcissist's struggle becomes most evident. Their inability to truly empathize and connect on a deep level means that they can never fully grasp the transformative power of unconditional love. Instead, they remain trapped in a cycle of neediness and emotional manipulation that ultimately prevents them from experiencing the richness of genuine intimacy. The journey to understanding why narcissists struggle with real love also involves confronting the societal myths and misconceptions surrounding narcissism. Popular culture often paints narcissists as monsters, cold, unfeeling beings who are incapable of love or remorse. While it is true that narcissistic behavior can be incredibly destructive, such oversimplified portrayals ignore the complexity of the human experience. Narcissists are, after all, human beings with their own histories, traumas, and vulnerabilities. Many experts argue that the roots of narcissistic behavior can often be traced back to early experiences of neglect, abuse, or inconsistent caregiving. These formative experiences leave deep emotional scars that manifest in the desperate need for external validation and the inability to trust others. In this light, the struggle with real love is not simply a matter of character flaw, but a symptom of profound emotional injury. Recognizing this complexity is essential for anyone seeking to understand or heal from narcissistic abuse. It challenges us to look beyond the surface and to see the wounded, often conflicted individual behind the mask of arrogance. A pivotal moment in this exploration comes when we consider how some narcissists, in rare and fleeting moments, do show signs of genuine affection. These moments may occur when the narcissist is confronted with a significant loss, or when their carefully constructed world begins to crumble. In such instances, their usual defenses may falter, allowing a glimpse of vulnerability to emerge. They might express regret for their actions, show genuine concern for a partner's well-being, or even attempt to make amends. While these expressions are often short-lived and may be interwoven with further manipulation, they offer a critical insight. Beneath the layers of narcissism, there is a human heart capable of feeling. This key insight challenges the notion that narcissists are entirely devoid of love. Instead, it suggests that while their ability to experience love is deeply compromised, it is not entirely extinguished. For some, these moments of tenderness are a spark of hope, a sign that with appropriate intervention and healing, even the most entrenched narcissistic tendencies might be softened over time. Understanding these nuances is vital for those who find themselves entangled in relationships with narcissists. The impact of such relationships can be devastating, leaving lasting scars on one's self-esteem and ability to trust. Yet, by examining the psychological and emotional underpinnings of narcissistic behavior, we can begin to see patterns that not only explain their actions, but also offer pathways to recovery. When you grasp why narcissists struggle with real love, you are better equipped to protect yourself, set healthy boundaries, and ultimately reclaim your own capacity for genuine, transformative relationships. This understanding is not an excuse for abuse, but rather a roadmap for healing, a reminder that the narcissist's inability to love is more about their internal wounds than about your worth. As we draw our exploration to a close, it is important to recap the main points we've covered. We began with the startling statistic that only a small fraction of narcissists might ever experience what could be called real love, and posed the provocative question of whether someone so self-absorbed could ever truly understand love. We introduced the concept of narcissism and its profound implications on relationships, highlighting how traits like a need for control, lack of empathy, and a constant craving for validation severely limit a narcissist's capacity for genuine connection. We then delved into the common challenge faced by those who love narcissists, the pervasive belief that these individuals are incapable of forming true emotional bonds, and examined the psychological reasons behind this behavior. We explored the stark contrast between selfish, transactional love and the selfless, transformative nature of real love, and considered how early life traumas and deep-seated insecurities contribute to the narcissist's emotional deficits. In our key moment, we reflected on the rare instances when a narcissist's defenses momentarily crumble, revealing a glimpse of genuine affection and vulnerability that challenges the notion that they are entirely devoid of love. Throughout this journey, we have seen that the struggle with real love is not a simple binary, but a complex interplay of internal wounds, behavioral patterns, and societal influences that shape every interaction. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for taking the time to join me on this deep dive into the truth about why narcissists struggle with real love. The complexity of human emotions, particularly in the realm of narcissism, reminds us that even those who seem the most unyielding can harbor hidden vulnerabilities. While narcissistic behavior often leads to pain and dysfunction, understanding its roots is the first step toward healing for both the victims and the narcissists themselves. This knowledge empowers us to set healthier boundaries, seek compassionate understanding, and ultimately forge relationships that are grounded in authenticity and mutual respect. I invite you now to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever encountered a narcissist whose struggle with love left you questioning the very nature of emotional connection? Your stories and insights are valuable, not only for your own healing, but also for others who may be facing similar challenges. Please subscribe to our channel for more discussions on relationships and psychology. Hit the like button if you found this exploration insightful, and share this video with anyone who might benefit from a deeper understanding of these complex dynamics. Together, we can build a supportive community that navigates the intricacies of love, healing, and personal growth. Thank you again for being here and for allowing me to share these insights with you. May you find strength in your journey toward genuine connection, and may you always remember that real love, in its truest form, is an ever-evolving dance of empathy, resilience, and hope. Stay strong, stay compassionate, and never lose sight of your own worth.